He may be number 3, but many feel Carmelo Anthony was the steal of the draft. His sweet shot and smooth moves are key components in Denver's quick start. Tonight we get our first look at Carmelo and the surprising Nuggets. As for the Warriors, simply should be a wild Wednesday in Oakland. Two of the most surprising teams in the NBA as the Warriors storm onto the floor at the arena in Oakland looking for win number 5 in a row. And they take on Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. These are two of the most surprising teams in the NBA. Someone's going to have a 5-game winning streak when this one's over, but I can't believe how the Warriors have turned it around in the last week or so.
Well, they're playing extremely well, and of course, Denver is playing extremely well. At 11-6, they're a half game behind Dallas for the Midwest Division lead. So you're right, something's got to give tonight.
Well, there's no question in the fourth quarter who's going to be handling the ball now for the Warriors. Nick Van Exel against Phoenix and San Antonio. Could he have been any better?
I'll tell you, what a show Nick Van Exel has put on over the last 2 games. And you can see the stats in the last 2 games, averaging over 20 points a game in really limited minutes. And it started on the road at Phoenix because this game was up for grabs. The Warriors were looking for their first win on the road this year. The step-back jumper, he just lit it up 9 points in the fourth quarter to preserve the win.
He'll take and make the big shots, but Jim, he'll also make the big pass if the defense dictates to it.
Well, he saved his best for last against San Antonio, the 1-point win. He had 16 of his 29 points in the fourth quarter, simply took over the game. He scored 14 of the Warriors' last 17 points. He's a showman. He likes the pressure. He likes to take the big shot. And I can tell you right now, he's capable of making them. We all know that now.
You mentioned the Nuggets are a very different team. They had a lot of salary cap room. They've drafted very well. Kiki Vandeweghe is putting a team together now that with the good draft picks, nice free agent signings, they are maybe the most improved team in the league.
Well, they're really turning it around, and I really like the acquisition of Melo. They bring back Vashawn Leonard for the 2nd time to Denver now. And, of course, John Barry is shooting the ball extremely well, but it's Carmelo Anthony, the rookie, the Western Conference NBA Rookie of the Month in November, and averaging 18 points a game. When you look at Carmelo Anthony, he's 6'8", but he can handle the ball. He's a lot like Mike Dunleavy. He can do a lot of things. He can rebound, he can shoot, he can really get to the basket. He can also set up teammates, and he's very, very coachable. A very gifted young man, only 1 year of college out of Syracuse, but right now he's having a big impact on the NBA.
He can score the basketball. The Nuggets last year, the lowest scoring team in the NBA. This year, they're 5th in the NBA in scoring. For the Warriors, the half-court offense has been so good all year long, but it's been the defense that's won games. The defensive coordinator, Tom Sterner, will sit down with Glenn Kuiper right after this. At the arena in Oakland, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, and Glenn Kuiper as we look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups. First for the Warriors, Speedy Claxton stays in the starting lineup with Jason Richardson. Dampier in the middle with Mike Dunleavy and Cliff Robinson up front. Eric Musselman with a couple days off after that win over San Antonio, and really feeling that this team is coming together as they head into December. For Denver, it's Nene now, the Brazilian star in his 2nd year, going with the single name. Carmelo Anthony, the rookie, Francisco Elson, and Vashawn Leonard and Andre Miller in the backcourt. Jeff Buzdelek has this team playing so hard on a nightly basis, Jim. They've ratcheted up the talent level, and the Nuggets are 11-6.
And they're scoring about 10 points a game more than they did last year because they are putting a lot of pressure. They're a great shot blocking team, and they're a great offensive rebounding team, and they run and put pressure on the other club.
Robinson inside, and the Warriors on the board first. You also notice Denver in their traveling UCLA road uniforms. These are the new unis, kind of that baby powder blue. Apologies to North Carolina Tar Heel fans. Carmelo Anthony losing the ball, and Clapton had to be on the way.
They closed the door on him. Now Speedy had a shot there, looking to get other people involved. And
Cliff pulled the string short, but Eric Dampier following it up and in.
Talking to some of the executives in the Denver Nugget organization, they are just astounded at what Eric Dampier is accomplishing this year. Got a 2-on-1. Dunleavy should get a layup.
Claxton will take it himself, and it's not called goaltending.
That was a good call. He got it right there at the top. It had not hit the board first.
If it hits the board, it's goaltending by definition, but Miller, great timing. Dunleavy 3. It was Sean Leonard with the rebound, but Danny Crawford says stay right here with a foul.
Well, on that 2-on-1, I think you got to give it back to a wide open Dunleavy. You don't have too many chances to get a 2-on-1 in this league.
Our key matchup, the point guard, Miller and Boykins versus Claxton and Van Exel. And you're talking about 4 of the better players that will be in the game tonight. But you don't know who's going to give you what. Because don't be fooled by Nick coming off the bench. Richardson with a baseline move. Off back iron, he couldn't finish it. So the Warriors missed some point-blank opportunities that trip down.
Really didn't have much of an angle, and that was a very, very tough shot because they had defenders on both sides, had to come back out in front of the rim and couldn't use the board that way. It made it tough.
Here is Nene, and now Deshaun Leonard. And once Leonard starts to hit, you're in trouble. He only shoots 37% from the field, but also 37% on threes. And a notorious streak shooter.
And recently had a terrific game, his best game of the season. And he got 27.
Warriors turn it over, and Miller headed the other way.
He got 26, excuse me, against the Clippers.
Denver beat Cleveland last night. There's Leonard back-to-back. As we said, once he hits his first one, look out. But the Nuggets beat the Cavs 115-103. They shot 53% as a team.
Well, they've beaten Cleveland twice this year, and in both matchups, Carmelo Anthony has prevailed.
Robinson was looking for Dunleavy on the baseline, but he was held and unable to get the pass.
Risky pass, because if they don't call that, the ball is thrown out of bounds.
A year ago, the Warriors swept the season series, beating Denver all 4 times.
Well, that would be an accomplishment this year, the way they're playing.
Dampier on Nene, putting it up and out. Rebound battle. Damp had it knocked away by Andre Miller. Miller steaming into the front court, and he draws the foul.
Probably Robinson from behind. I like this man's mindset. In the open court, one-on-one, you don't stop and pull up and shoot a jump shot. You take it to the basket. Watch him a little right to the left. May have gotten away with traveling before the foul. Took that little step in there. Speedy was playing him pretty well. You could see he was giving him a lot of ground.
Andre Miller, one of the big free agent prizes of the offseason. Debated between Utah and Denver before selecting the Nuggets as his destination team. Clippers electing not to match his contract offer.
They didn't match his, and they didn't match Lamar Odom. But they kept Maggette, and they kept another kid that went to Duke that was not a bad offensive rebounder himself.
That Elton Brand guy?
Yeah.
Miller splitting the free throws. Robinson around Nene. And the shot blocked out of bounds, and then Cliff touched it last.
Francisco Elson with that block. And this is a terrific shot blocking team. You wouldn't know it.
The best.
The best. Number 1.
Best offensive rebounding team, best shot blocking team, and they force the most turnovers.
But the best shot blocker, or one of the best, Camby won't play. He's got the full going.
Leonard has hit a couple, now make it 3 in a row.
Well, you can't do anything about that shot. He's got it going right now, and that shot was well defended.
So the Warriors scored the first 4 points of the game. Nuggets have reeled off 8 in a row. Richardson taking Leonard into the post. Couldn't get the shot down.
And here they go.
To Anthony. He can finish himself. Cliff Robinson turned them away. Nene inside. Drawing the foul. And unable to flip that in, but he'll get himself to the line.
Nene is extremely quick, and he gets a lot of points in the same fashion you just saw there. He runs the floor. And he'll run the floor after a make as well.
A year ago, Maynard Hilario, or Nene Hilario, the 7th pick by the Knicks, acquired in the Antonio McDyess trade. He averaged 10 points and over 6 rebounds a game a year ago. Those numbers are up, and the name has changed. And in the Brazilian tradition of Pele, Rivaldo, Romario, single name sports stars, he is now Nene, now and forevermore.
Okay, he's got a terrific body on him. He's got look at the size that he has, but he also possesses great quickness for that size. Probably his best asset, along with, by the way, great hands. So that's why he can run the floor, catch the ball. They're not afraid to throw it to him.
The Warriors desperately need a hoop here, having giving up 10 unanswered points.
Well, look at Denver's defense. They're a lot like San Antonio, swarming, very active.
Shot clock at 7. Speedy on Andre Miller, lets him fly by and rims it in.
Having to work to get anything, just like they did that first quarter against San Antonio.
Hey, with the 360 move, flipping it up and in. Wow.
Those were the shots last year he wasn't comfortable and he probably hurried him a little bit, missed a lot of those, but now he's more comfortable making more.
6'11", 260, and pretty nimble on that spin move. Claxton, Andre Miller, very physical defender. Cliff Robinson rattling it out flat. Warriors shooting 3 of 10. The Nuggets have yet to miss a field goal. They're 4 for 4.
And that may be what Leonard is after he takes his 4th shot.
Sean Leonard is a perfect 4 for 4, and Hilario spin move the other bucket. Now Denver is only shooting 40% as a team on the season, so 100% not good.
They've got nothing going here.
Shot clock at 5. Claxton very fortunate to draw the body bump there.
I agree.
A nice crowd on hand for a Wednesday night, but they've been on their hands for most of the first quarter. Kind of stunned by the Denver proficient shooting. Dunleavy trying to get it to Robinson, but Denver knocking it out of bounds. Still Warrior ball with only 8 to shoot. The Richardson-Leonard matchup should favor the Warriors Jason offensively, but Leonard's made it work the other way, and Cliff Robinson hitting the jumper off the inbounds play. It'll be a battle for tempo, Jim, all night. I think Denver would like to get up and down. I think the Warriors would want to see more half court.
It's been a while since we saw Phoenix try to get up and down, but Denver really forces the issue.
And there's great defense by Richardson there. That was a wild shot by Leonard.
Like the third one he made was wild.
Speedy Claxton, very quick jumper. Dunleavy the offensive rebound, and he's fouled in the process.
He worked really well to get inside, get offensive position. I think he sprained his ankle a little bit. I think he's okay, but he came down a little awkwardly on that right ankle.
And Leonard picks up his 2nd foul.
Blocking out, watch him come down, actually turned his left ankle. It was his left ankle which gave a little bit.
Jim Robinson has Andre Miller on the block. Speedy, another 3, and he hit it. He's only 2 of 10 coming in, and Claxton hits the 3. The Warriors down 3.
I can understand the game plan there for Andre Miller to go down and leave Speedy outside.
Carmelo Anthony answers with a very deep 2.
Plays with such confidence. Of course, he and LeBron James.
Anthony last night, 26 points, 8 of 16 shooting, outplayed LeBron.
Read an article in the Rocky Mountain News, and it just blasted basically LeBron James, saying he wasn't near the player Anthony is.
Well, how about that feed? Robinson to Dampier, and the big passing to big there. Anthony initiated the contact, and they're going to call Dunleavy for the foul. 5:32 remaining in the first, and the Nuggets up 3. Terrell Owens enjoying this one so far. Sean Leonard off to just a scorching start. And once he starts to heat up from the outside, Jim, you can be draped all over him. It won't matter.
Well, a terrific outside shooter. Spent his first 5 years in Miami, then 2 years in Denver, last year in Toronto, and he got it going early tonight, even with Jason Richardson right in his face, knocking it down. Oh, he gave a little throat slash there. That could cost him. In the NFL, it would.
And Sean Leonard, another free agent pickup, his 2nd tour of duty with Denver. Began his career with Miami, then in 2 years with the Nuggets, a year in Toronto, and now back with Denver again. And just a pure professional shooter.
As I said, recently in their win on the road against the Clippers, he led both teams with 26 in 29 minutes, so he can do it in a short period of time.
Carmelo Anthony, 1 of 2 free throwing. Dunleavy picked up his 2nd foul on a very interesting blocking interpretation.
But he kept giving ground. That's why he was a little concerned that they blew the whistle. He thought he had position and kept going away from the contact. Isolating Dampier a lot here tonight.
Dampier, what a nice baseline move around the net.
Well, you know, that's two that he's curled in with a little English.
Tampa has 6 points here in the first. Warriors, after being down 8, have cut it to 2. Leonard, another 3. Sean Leonard is rolling here in the first quarter with a dozen of Denver's 20 points.
Confidence is such a factor in this league, especially when you've been around 7 or 8 years.
Try to double team Dampier. Speedy lets Anthony run by him. Dunleavy, pump fake. High arcing jumper. Nelson comes up with a rebound.
Carmelo Anthony came at Mike Dunleavy and challenged that shot. You can see Anthony, look at this move. How about this, a little jumping jack. He steps back, squeezes between 2 players, and then the extension.
He's a true small forward in every sense of the word.
He also knows, oh, Richardson's going to get to the line. But you look at Anthony at the other end, you know that he has a mindset to get to the basket. Kiki Vandeweghe, one of the great shooters of all time and great scorers in this league. And he's acting like Jerry West, not sitting down. Jerry West always stood up, you know, in the corridor.
The vomitories of the arena. And Kiki, that is Jerry West. Too much nervous energy.
Yeah. Oh, Kiki, what, 2 or 3 years in a row, he's over 29 a game. Big trade between Denver and Portland when Kiki was involved.
Richardson splitting the free throws. Andre Miller's always banging into somebody. One of the more physical point guards.
Yes, he is. He likes that physical contact. It helps him.
Anthony had time to set behind the Elson screen and buries him. So Carmelo with 7, Sean Leonard with 12. And the Nuggets, unbelievable offensively, especially if you saw him play last year.
Like you say, he had time there. In fact, he could have flipped a coin to see whether he drove or shot from the outside.
Richardson fading left as he misses that jumper. And Andre Miller in the middle of the break. Leonard ran right to the three-point line, hit it, and drew the foul. An opportunity for a 4-point play. And Sean Leonard is 6 for 7 with 3 threes.
See, here's a guy that's averaged over his career about 11.5 points a game. But he's an NBA player, and he's capable of having these nights. And he's off to a terrific start. Good concentration there. Just got it out of his hands before the contact came. And that basket's looking about 3 feet wide for him right now.
Eric Musselman has seen the Warriors play such good defense, allowing only 89 points a game. And yet the Nuggets have already put up 28 here, just inside 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Well, Eric Musselman said today that this team has to match the energy, and the guys off the bench have to do it as well.
Nuggets are 10 of 11 shooting to begin the ball game.
Their defense has been outstanding. Look at this double teaming, and they're leaving Speedy alone, then rotating over.
Claxton gets the blocking foul. Heard the whistle and just kind of threw that at the rim.
This is a hustling defensive Denver Nuggets group. Look at them all. Vision on the ball. Andre Miller moving on. That's a good call by the official. Never had position settled.
2 fouls on Andre Miller. We'll get Earl Boykins into the game. Claxton hits the free throw. So Earl Boykins, a year ago, the fan favorite, scored 10 or more points in the fourth quarter a dozen times. He gets a nice reaction in Oakland, as he should. Claxton hitting both free throws.
Unlike the reaction that will be handed to Gilbert Arenas when he returns. And I think it'll be a little more mixed.
Yeah, mixed.
Yeah, a little more mixed, but with Earl, it's all good.
Calbert Chaney, former Nugget, in to stay with Leonard, and Calbert committing the foul.
Well, they made a driver out of him. This is a team that gets to the line an awful lot, about 29 times a game.
And speaking of former Nuggets, Nick Van Exel set to check in. Sean Leonard has a chance to tie the Warriors with 18 here in the first quarter. The holiday hoop packs are back. 3 real good ones. A Laker pack, a Kings pack, or a Yao Ming package that has both Houston games in it. Get a $20 Tower Records gift certificate. Log on to Warriors.com or 888-GSW-HOOP and grab one of those little 4-game holiday hoop packs. So the Warriors have 18, and Leonard has 18.
I don't know what his record is for a quarter. His high game in his career is 38.
Speedy Claxton, they just sag off him, and Speedy has 9 here in the first. But still, the Nuggets, 10 of 11 from the field, 7 of 9 from the line. And it's Van Exel going to take a turn on Vashawn Leonard. Anthony driving, stripped, and a jump ball.
I can tell you one thing I like about Anthony. Just seeing him in early part of the season. We'll talk about it when we come back.
2:41 left in the first, and the Nuggets could not be any hotter.
First quarter in Oakland, Nuggets by 10 over the Warriors. Earl Boykins played in 68 games for the Warriors last year. As Bob Fitzgerald said, he was a fan favorite. We asked Boykins about his 1 year with the Warriors.
Coach Musselman and the Warriors organization, they gave me an opportunity to play consistent minutes as a backup point guard, but also they gave me a chance to close basketball games, and they allowed me basically to get to the position that I'm at this year.
And Boykins certainly had his own fourth quarter magic last year for the Warriors. He had a knack for making that big shot late and injecting life into the Warriors. And Bob and Jim, Boykins got a chance to play a lot of minutes last year for the Warriors. What did it get him? Well, it got him a 5-year guaranteed contract. I say good for Earl Boykins.
Well, absolutely, and he was signed, ironically, by the team as Claxton stole the tip here. But just to finish, Jim,
yes,
the Warriors were down 20 in Denver in the first meeting between these teams a year ago, and Earl led them all the way back to win the game.
He played very well against Denver, and I think that's part of the reason Kiki Vandeweghe fell in love with him. Eric Musselman loved him a lot last year because Earl Boykins scored 10 or more points in the fourth quarter 12 different times during the year. He got 8 points in the fourth quarter last night in their win over Cleveland, by the way.
Francisco Elson out of Cal with Carmelo Anthony, Vashawn Leonard, Earl Boykins. And Elson down the lane, blocked by Cliff Robinson. And a foul in the process. Second foul on Cliff. And the crowd not liking a couple very interesting whistles here in the first quarter.
Just to cut down the middle. Now there's a good block, but there was contact before the block. You know, you can't just take one aspect of the play out and dissect it and say, oh, that was a great block. You know, you knock somebody to the floor.
And you might remember Francisco Elson at Cal.
It was primarily a rebounder. There's body contact and everything, and you heard it.
Played in Spain for 4 years, a native of the Netherlands. So Robinson sitting with 2 fouls.
He's just your normal 27-year-old rookie.
Well, I don't think it's that bad a move sometimes. Hey, play overseas for several years, get your minutes, get your confidence. You know, Brian Cardinal credits his time in Spain.
Sure.
With getting him more confidence, and Cardinal getting his first playing time. So Claxton, Van Exel playing together with Cardinal, Calvert Chaney, and Eric Dampier, and the Warriors in a world of trouble, down 11 here in the first quarter. Cardinal catch and shoot. And Anthony with the rebound. Anthony, Boykins, Vashawn Leonard, Francisco Elson, and Nene for Denver. And they're going to go Nene on Cardinal if they get that opportunity.
Cardinal do everything he can to front. Half shading, 3/4.
Leonard step back shot over Van Exel. Vashawn Leonard is officially unconscious. 20 in the first quarter. In case you're wondering, the Denver record in a quarter is 32 by David Thompson.
I was going to say, you have to go over some guys like Kiki Vandeweghe and David Thompson, some big scores, Alex English, before you get to them.
Chaney was fouled. David Thompson had 32 in the first against Detroit, 53 at halftime, and 73 in a game. Those are the Denver records.
I remember the 73.
But Vashawn Leonard putting up 20 while the Warrior team has 20. Ugly. Chaney free throw misfiring. Sharks facing former teammate Teemu Solani and the Avalanche. Speaking of Bay Area versus Colorado teams, tomorrow at 7:30 right here on Fox Sports Net. Your exclusive home for Sharks hockey all year long.
Can I just add to this a little bit?
Sure.
Because Alex English, you know, a lot of people don't remember him. He just wasn't a flashy player. In 11 years for the Nuggets, he only averaged 25.9 and scored nearly 22,000 points.
Not bad.
25-9.
Leonard again. Vashawn Leonard has 22 in the quarter on 8 of 9 shooting.
You're unconscious when you're like that. I mean, it's almost like someone is intervening and just making the ball go in for you. It seems so easy.
Dampier inside. And Eric Dampier has 8 in the first quarter.
He's having a big quarter, but overshadowed by a smaller guy, Sean Leonard at the other end.
You just have to deny him the ball. Do not let Leonard catch the ball.
But look, it's tougher to do than you think.
Van Exel doing a good job this trip down.
He was getting help right here from Brian Cardinal.
And they'll call the foul on Van Exel. The Warriors over the limit, so Leonard will shoot 2 more free throws. And now Sean Lampley checking in and Speedy Claxton sitting down.
At the NBA level, if somebody wants to catch the ball, it's absolutely impossible to keep them from catching it if everybody on the team is working to that endeavor.
So Vashawn Leonard kind of signed as an afterthought. 46 pick back in '94 by Milwaukee. Well, Friday, very similar matchup. In fact, the same matchup. The Warriors and Denver Nuggets from the Pepsi Center at 6 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Net.
Need I say that Vashawn Leonard made them both?
Vashawn Leonard will not have 24 in the first quarter at the Pepsi Center, I predict. It's not going to happen again.
Great consolation.
Wow, beautiful backdoor cut. Brian Cardinal and Cheney found him. Boykins hustling. Leonard with Sean Lampley in strictly to guard him. Around the screen, Leonard hit it anyway. And now the whole Nugget bench is standing.
Is that 26?
26 for Leonard, 25 for the Warriors.
And they're going to get the last shot of the quarter.
And a 16-second differential. Dampier on Elson. Cycled around to Van Exel. Albert Cheney, little baseline fading shot. He pushed it in.
And they have 20 seconds to get it to Vashawn Leonard.
And now he has the ball. The Nuggets are shooting 93% for the quarter because Leonard is 9 of 10.
There, it was clear out the middle, and they're going to do so.
Now down to 7. Leonard on Lampley.
If he scores here, he'll outscore the Warriors in the quarter.
He shoots a 3, and he finally misses again.
He could have gotten a better shot.
So Vashawn Leonard goes for 26. The Warriors go for 27, but he had a little help from his Nugget friends. And Denver shooting a gaudy 87%, leading by a dozen at the end of 1. Beginning the second quarter, the Nuggets shooting 87%. Vashawn Leonard finally resting after that just incredible 26-point explosion.
Well, we forget he's been playing well. NBA Western Conference Player of the Week after averaging 21.3, and the Nuggets went 3-0.
That is the single quarter record against the Warriors in the long, illustrious history of the franchise.
Wow.
26 and a quarter.
I'm surprised that Wilt never accomplished that. By the way, he's on pace to beat Wilt's record, 26 and a quarter. That'd be 104.
He won't get it. Chris Anderson, and that is what Anderson does. He is a reason why the Nuggets are leading the league in shot blocks. The pump fake on Anderson is the key move, because he will leap on everything.
Yes, he will. And he'll lay his body out there. Remember, he broke his hand, I think, on the backboard a couple of years ago against the Warriors.
That's right, in Denver. Nick Van Exel 3. And Brian Cardinal the offensive rebound. Pump fake. Anderson went in the air and he laid it in.
Well, he did a heck of a job getting a little closer to the hoop without pulling that pivot foot up the ground.
Boykins, John Barry, who was a great signing in the offseason. Chris Anderson, Rodney White, and Ryan Bowen for Denver. Van Exel blocking Boykins.
From behind. Boykins faked that pass, but then kept the ball, and Van Exel read it.
Shot clock at 3. Dampier swats Anderson, and then Anderson fouls him. What a play by Eric Dampier.
Well, go ahead, Bill.
I would say it's not just physical, it's mental. Damp saw the shot clock was at 3, said this guy's got to shoot a jumper, and he stuffed it in his face.
Take a look at Van Exel. He jumps, but then he has time and the reach to deny, and then Dampier was just crowding Anderson. That was a quick release, but he got to it. I say one thing, too. I think this call, just like San Antonio woke up the Warriors in that first quarter, all of a sudden they've gotten their attention here.
Van Exel tried the return pass to Cheney. John Barry knocking it away. Boykins from the wing.
He's a scorer. He's a good shooter, and he likes to score.
Warriors allowing the most points of any quarter all season in the first. Cheney, nice baseline drive, couldn't finish it, and Boykins headed the other way.
I love the way they kicked the ball out.
Earl tossing it back to Barry. And John, it is contagious for the Nuggets. Everybody's shooting the basketball. They're 15 of 19 as a team. They come in shooting 40% even, but last night they shot 53%. Lampley drawing the foul, no continuation. Jason Richardson will hustle back into the game. Lampley will sit down. Lampley in for energy and to kind of change the tempo of the ball game. But the Nuggets holding their largest lead right now at 14. Skip past Van Exel. Nick did well just to come catch that, and then the push shot is in.
It's a lot of guts to throw that ball like that across the court, through the defense, over the top. Barry's been a terrific three-point shooter this year.
48%. Rodney White was firing, and that's the one Nugget that can shoot you out of the game. Rodney White will put up a lot of shots. Brian Cardinal drawing the foul. And I think the Warriors, you mentioned a wake-up call. They just got to weather the storm here. The Nuggets are not going to shoot 75% for the game.
No, not unless the Warriors don't get back on defense.
So you just need to kind of hang in and maintain contact till the percentages start to become more realistic.
Yeah, if you can make them play more half court, those percentages will come down, because let's face it, this team last year was the worst scoring team in the league, Denver, the worst shooting team in the league, and now they're the 5th best scoring team in the league. Still not shooting the ball well, 27th, they're ranked, but you can see their defense, they create more turnovers than anybody in the league. Look at this. They go from last to 5th best, about 11 points a game more.
Brian Cardinal was 6 already off the bench, and it's a 10-point game with 9.5 remaining in the first half. If you're just tuning in, Deshaun Leonard went for 26 in the first quarter. Ryan Bowen launching, misfiring, big rebound battle. Calvert Cheney, outlet to Van Exel. They're starting to run too. Nick pushing, a little floater, and Rodney White comes down with the rebound. Boykins at 3 in transition. And Dampier with the rebound.
Well, the Warriors are going to say, you want to run, we'll run with you.
Cardinal, a lot of time to set his feet. He drives and is fouled. Now, the one thing the Nuggets have done this quarter, 14 fouls, Jim, already at the 9-minute mark.
Well, that's big, and the Warriors have yet to commit a foul. Well, so the Warriors are putting a little pressure on them.
Denver got to the line 13 times in the first quarter.
What a great read. And I thought Van Exel had the shot, decided not to take it. Nice inbounds pass from Cheney.
Boykins again will continue to launch and drop it in.
He's not going to miss that too often.
Earl 2 of 4. Boykins is shooting 41%, averaging 12.6 a game. Richardson, what a tough move. Jason, beautiful space and separation, hitting the jumper on a very good defender in Barry.
Denver doesn't even blink. They come right back at you.
On their own little floater before Dampier could even get off the ground.
Well, he just left his man up top.
Cardinal wanted something, got nothing. And Cardinal hustling back, but it deflects to Barry. And then Cheney with the foul. Up and down, a spirited game. The Nuggets, with a 12-point bulge at the end of one, lead by 12 right now. Well, the Denver Nuggets and the Warriors meeting for the first time. Both teams having won 4 games in a row. But Denver shooting 71%. They got 26 points from Deshaun Leonard, a 9 of 11 shooting in the first quarter, and I think that is emboldened the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, because they're picking it right from the bench. They're picking it up.
Nuggets, along with Memphis, probably 2 of the most improved teams in the NBA.
Well, they only won 17 games all of last year, so heck, this month they could surpass that total. 8-1 at home.
Boykins, John Barry, Rodney White, Chris Anderson, and Deshaun Leonard is back in. White on Dunleavy, and he traveled. Mike gave ground, and White shuffled the feet. Mike Dunleavy, Calvert Cheney, Nick Van Exel, Jason Richardson, Brian Cardinal. So Cardinal is essentially the center right now. One forward and a three-guard look.
I just don't think White is that great of an offensive player to try to take over the game one-on-one.
Cardinal right to the rim, and Bryan will get himself to the line.
You can see Bryan is driving a lot more because the word has gotten out that he can shoot the basketball. So they're making him put it on the floor, and he's doing a great job of not only finishing but getting himself to the line. He did it against San Antonio, drew a couple of fouls on Duncan, the little dipsy-do.
Anderson picking up his second foul. Carmelo Anthony back in the ball game. Cardinals such a good free throw shooter at 88%. He drives, he has a way of finishing and drawing fouls, and then even if he doesn't finish, you feel good with him at the line.
Yeah, he's very good at drawing fouls because he does a lot of pumping, showing the ball, bringing it back while he's up in the air, and he throws his body into people, which always helps.
Well, Jeff Buzdelic is kind of challenging Eric Musselman here, saying if you want to go small, I'm going to put Nene and Anthony back in, and Cardinal has to guard the 260-pound Nene.
Let's see if he's up to the task.
Melo Anthony, deep two on the way, missed everything and missed it long. Ticked iron, it'll be Warrior ball.
Okay, you got 7:33 here in the second, down by 10. You worked it back after being down by 12 at the end of the quarter, and you've given up 39. You've only given up 8 here. I say only in about 4.5 minutes.
And Van Exel makes it an 8-point game, and Van Exel knocks it away. Nick with a steal. Mike finishing.
Biggest play of the game for the Warriors right there. Biggest play. It brought everyone to their feet.
And now Denver, as well as they've played and have shot the ball, they look up and they're only up 6.
Now let's see if they can get Rashawn Leonard missing this quarter.
Richardson, very tough defensive assignment on Leonard, as hot as he's been, but they're going to pound it into Nene.
Well, Brian Cardinal fronted, then he recovered, got behind.
And Cardinal stripped it away. Van Exel pushing. Little delayed break. Dunleavy the trailer. Passes up to 3. Nick won't. Chaney, the offensive rebound, puts it in.
Well, Leonard went to the floor. Chaney's the only guy there. Watch out. Chaney almost took a little swing as he was trying to harass Earl Boykins. Van Exel makes the shot. They leisurely bring it back in. He just strikes like the Cobra. Brings the ball and gets an assist while flat on his back.
Boykins setting up Nene, ran over Cardinal. Anthony, big arcing 3. Nene, the only true size player in the game right now. Anthony is fouled by Cardinal, very tough foul.
Let's see how this goes, because I think Cardinal thought he was going to go reverse the other side.
Danny Crawford says, I got it.
Well, Cardinal makes no apologies. Anthony gives a look. Well, it's heating up.
Well, they're discussing whether it's going to be a flagrant foul or not.
I do not think they called a flagrant.
No, Danny Crawford did not.
They got tangled up pretty well.
Remember, flagrant is always, it's not playing the ball or any of that kind of stuff. Flagrant is whether it was excessive and unnecessary contact. And then flagrant 2 is excessive, unnecessary, and unsportsmanlike. So Danny Crawford ruling that not excessive or unnecessary.
I disagree a little bit.
I'm just telling you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that was excessive because he wrapped his arms up. Now, see, I think it wasn't harmful because it was only arm contact there, but it seemed pretty excessive to me.
Anthony hitting both free throws. Richardson losing the ball. Warriors have turned it over 5 times, but they've forced 6 turnovers. Andre Miller back in. Earl Boykins will sit down with 6 points in 9 minutes.
For all the scoring and running Denver does, they turn the ball over 17 times, which isn't that much more than the norm. Leonard's not looking to get his shot here. He's just trying to let the game come to him. Anthony looks to score.
Ike had 2 quick fouls early. Now Anthony backing up. Shot clock at 4. John Barry inside.
Great look. Great look from Barry. Not much time left.
And Nene beating the shot clock buzzer. John Barry was the bench leader in Sacramento, the bench leader in Detroit. He's the bench leader here in Denver.
His mom's sitting up in Chris Mullen's suite, by the way.
And Richardson will spike it off the feed from Cardinal. And the Warriors moving it around in the half court very effectively.
I got to ask you a question. How many spikes have you seen from Richardson this year?
Not very many.
Not very many. And I like that. It's great if he can get it, but he's doing a lot of other things and rounding out his game.
They keep pounding it into Nene. Cardinal giving away a lot of weight. And then Nene touched it last as Brian knocked it away. And Cardinal is the fan favorite this year.
Can Cardinal play Nene?
5 remaining in the first half. The Warriors have clawed back into this one. And Brian Cardinal leading the way. Richardson finishing.
Exciting basketball game tonight. The Nuggets by 6 over the Golden State Warriors. Now, Carmelo Anthony only played 1 year of college basketball at Syracuse, but he finished that 1 year, well, just about as well as you could. In the NCAA championship game versus Kansas, Anthony scored 20 points, pulled down 10 rebounds, and had 7 assists in the Orangemen's victory. He was named the most outstanding player of the 2003 Final Four. And Bob and Jim, the Warriors coaching staff, all talked about Anthony's ability to drive left to right, post up, or shoot from the perimeter. He has all the tools on offense.
Oh, that's what I like about him. He can do a lot of things at 6'8", and he's also coachable. You know, he wasn't rebounding well early in the season. Buzdelik said, you know, here's the film. I need you to rebound more. He had 4 straight games of 10 or more rebounds. Then he did the same thing with assists.
Shot clock at 1, and Van Exel hits a triple out of the corner.
Are you surprised?
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's not right. It's not fourth quarter.
Oh, what a shot. 13-4 Warrior run has cut it to 3. Anthony and Dunleavy, a great matchup to watch.
This is going to be a great matchup all 4 games this year. These 2 clubs.
Trying to guard Leonard, forced the miss short. Van Exel with a rebound. Nick the quick into the front court. Van Exel down the lane. Trying to get it to Lampley. Anthony headed the other way.
Oh, he needs a reverse on that one. I thought Van Exel had a good angle. Just do a little reverse layup.
Andre Miller trying to cross over on Dunleavy, 360, and he draws the foul. Miller is always looking for contact. He initiates it sometimes. He bounces off people.
Well, here's Van Exel. Now, right there. Right there. The ball's in the air at 1. It goes to 0. And he finds the bottom of the net. Ripcord.
And that's one where we talked about Dampier blocking Anderson's shot. Carmelo Anthony needed to see the shot clock was at 2. What did he think Van Exel was going to do out of the corner?
But when you arc it like that, and he has that little step back, fade back, and then he arcs it that high, it's hard to get to it.
Nick Van Exel, 7 points, a couple of assists, 3 of 6 shooting. And he has just been magnificent from the Phoenix game on. That 10 days of rest on that surgically repaired knee. He's just back to his old self.
This is one of those games where, you know, the working crew can bring you stat sheets, but they're outdated by the time you get them because there's too much stuff going on in the game.
Cardinal driving, getting it to Nick, and he rattles in another one. What a first half here with the Nuggets up 14 at one point. The Warriors have battled back to cut it to 3. Sean Leonard had 26 in the first quarter. It's just been an amazing game. Dunleavy staying right with John Barry. Shot clock at 5.
Anthony waiting for traffic to clear.
Anthony has got his own rebound. And then somehow threw it up at the iron.
Now that's just a great example. If you know basketball, you watch that play and you see how quick he is to the ball. Just another little asset. Misses the shot. Wasn't so concerned that he missed it because he feels confident if he's around the basket, he can go back and get the ball before anybody else does. 10 of those 26 coming in the fourth quarter last night for Carmelo Anthony.
Be sure to stay tuned to the Best Damn Sports Show period. Right after the ball game, Barry Sanders will be on. That Kenseth of NASCAR. Best Damn Sports Show period right after the ball game. And Dunleavy with 3 fouls will have to sit. And Anthony hits both free throws, so Carmelo with 11. The Nuggets 16 of 19 from the foul line. Warriors 8 of 10.
Carmelo's got a nice basketball body for 19 years of age.
He and Lebron are so advanced physically. And Richardson, little mid-range game for Jason. He's got 7 here in the first half.
Used his physicality there to get it up and over the rim.
Important 3 minutes here. The Warriors have battled back into this game. Did they use so much energy that now the Nuggets will put on a little burst? And Nene, baseline, laying it up and in.
Brian Cardinal went for the fake. Cardinal just got a little weight up and forward, and he was out of position, and Nene has a great first step there.
Sean Lampley, speaking of first steps, gets all the way to the iron to lay it in.
Sean Lampley can play. First of all, he's a terrific rebounder. Great opportunity for him because of the injuries. They brought him in to be a practice player, and he's seeing action.
And he's shut out Leonard so far this quarter. Andre Miller again banging into somebody, and Cardinal rebounding the miss.
Warriors looking to get it ahead.
Richardson, nice crossover. Anthony got a piece of it, but Speedy carries on. And Exel with a big step. Nick flipping it up and in. How pretty is that?
Well, he's too quick for John Barry on that play.
And Exel's got 11 plus plenty of style points all here in the quarter.
Miller's too strong for Speedy if they want to post him up.
Andre sensing the same thing. Shot clock down to 4. Barry realizes it.
Has to force it. They put him in a bad position, John Barry.
And Barry touched it last as Cardinal couldn't come up with it. And Barry kicked the ball halfway up into the stands. Shades of Jim Barnett. But not a technical situation. Minute 29 left. This is a fun one at the arena tonight. Timeout on the floor. The Nuggets up 1. Leonard held scoreless here in the second, and the Warriors back in it. Well, the Nuggets exploded in the first quarter for 39, led by 14, but Nick Van Exel has brought the Warriors almost entirely back here in the second quarter.
Well, he's hit from all over the place and done a lot of things. The three-point shot, the drive, just ignited the team, the steal, and he got Dunleavy the dunk.
I tell you, Nick is the mayor of the arena in Oakland after the San Antonio game.
There are going to be a lot more like that.
That is a love affair that began on Saturday night.
He spent, what, about 3+ years with Denver after 5 years with the Lakers before he went on to Dallas.
Did not leave Denver on the best terms.
No, he didn't.
To say it diplomatically.
Sean Lampley's going to get another.
No, Carmelo Anthony with the point-blank block, and Lampley stays with the play, and the Warriors have the lead.
Okay. Great persistence by Lampley. But do you see how quick Carmelo Anthony is?
How about the Warriors bench tonight? 28 points. Nene missing. Rebound battle loose. Nene comes up with it again.
Those great hands. They're big. They're soft.
Miller to Anthony. Laying it up and out. Rebound battle. Deep here.
Look at Speedy run down the middle.
Van Exel 3. Oh, that would have just lifted the roof off this place. Final half minute, and Claxton with a steal. Speedy inside to lay it in.
Yes, they can compete. Yes, they can meet a challenge. Yes, this is fun.
A 25-10 Warrior run. Got a 4-second differential game in shot clock, winding down the first half. Carmelo Anthony from the wing. Rebound, Claxton. Warriors can play for 1. Speedy on the push, and Andre Miller committing the foul.
That is a great push by Speedy. He's going to get to the line here. Shots missed. Denver secures the rebound. Nene gets a little casual here, and Speedy gets off the floor and puts it in. How many standing ovations have we seen and witnessed here tonight? And when's the last time you can ever say that in a Denver Golden State Warrior game?
How many standing ovations do you get in the second quarter of games?
I mean, these are the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors.
Well, it's such a great crowd on a Wednesday night, and they have been treated to some amazing basketball.
2 rejuvenated teams, as I said at the open.
Mikal Peters checking in. Van Exel getting a rest here.
But Denver's only a half game out of first in the Midwest behind Dallas.
And Speedy Claxton has 13 in the first half.
Both teams are on 4-game winning streaks.
Shot clock off, final 4 seconds of the half.
And the Warriors are going to go in with the lead.
Miller's not going to give it up. Peaches with a steal, and that will do it for halftime before Mikal could shoot it. What an amazing first half. Denver led by a dozen at the end of one. And it's the Warriors with a 5-point lead as they put up 35 in the second quarter. Getting ready to start the third quarter here at the arena. Moments ago, our Glenn Kuiper caught up with Warrior assistant David Fizdale.
Well, Coach, the Nuggets shoot almost 90% in the first quarter, but in the second quarter, you outscore them 35-18. Did you do anything different?
We went with a quicker lineup, a more active lineup, started getting our hands on balls, getting some steals for some easy layups, and guys started playing with a little more energy.
So the defense really took over in the second quarter?
No question. That's what sparked us, and then once we got in the half court, we spread them out and had 4 or 5 guys that could shoot the basketball, so they had to close out, and we got to the rim.
Put your seatbelt on in the second half.
Here we go.
Guys, back to you.
Well, David Fizdale's right, Glenn. It was a tale of 2 quarters with Denver and Sean Leonard going for 26 in the first, scorching the Nets. And yet it was the Warriors turning the tables in the second quarter, and it was the defense limiting Denver to 30% while the Warriors shot 67%. And the bench led the way with that 28-8 advantage. And all that did was get us through halftime now, Jim. You ready for a whole second half of this game?
Well, I just think a strategical mistake putting Leonard on the bench when you're going that way. Maybe you're just too exhausted, though. It takes a lot out of you scoring those kinds of points in a quarter.
So beginning the second half, Andre Miller, Deshaun Leonard, Carmelo Anthony, Francisco Elson, and Nene for Denver. Leonard trying to pick it up again. And he was scoreless since that first quarter. Dampier, Cliff Robinson, Jason Richardson, Mike Dunleavy, and Speedy Claxton, who had an excellent first half. Speedy had 13 in the first half.
Probably one of his better games, without question one of his better games.
Cliff Robinson shot it flat off back iron. Andre Miller couldn't come up with the rebound cleanly. Richardson 3. Dampier tipping to himself, and another new possession. And Dunleavy smartly got into the front court to catch that ball.
Walking the tightrope there, but he just got in front of it and got position there established.
Dampier handing off to Richardson, stripped away by Nene. Still Warrior ball with 12 to shoot. Eric Dampier, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 of 5 shooting. Just another routine double-double as Damp is on his way again.
I'm thinking about the first 3 or 4 minutes here. If the Warriors can get something going, how much, let's face it, yeah, Denver's 11-6, but are they capable of coming back?
Shot clock at 3, Dampier off glass, couldn't finish it. And then the foul, Damp, little frustration there, hitting Francisco Elson. Only Dampier's first. What a luxury that the big guy has 5 fouls to use now in the second half.
Played very well in that first half and lasted 17 minutes without committing a foul. 7 rebounds to lead both teams. I thought it was important that the Warriors rebound the ball, and they got more offensive rebounds than Denver, which is pretty rare, as a matter of fact, against Denver this year.
Anthony launching the 3 right through.
This kid, boy, well, Glenn brought it up in one of those specials in the first half. He can do a little bit of everything, and he certainly can.
Carmelo with 14. Dunleavy got Anthony in the air, couldn't finish off glass.
I'd like to see Mike Dunleavy get untracked in this half. Only basket he got was that one on the steal by Van Exel to get the dunk.
Yeah, Mike 1 for 4. Claxton got a piece of it.
See what I like about Anthony? You know, he's young, he's 19, but he knows the value of triple threat position. He didn't just waste his dribble. That was traveling.
Nene spun around the other side of the iron to finish.
He always likes to go to that side, it seems. Either to the middle or baseline.
So Denver, the first 5 points of the second half. Warriors yet to score here. Claxton around Andre Miller. Rimming out. Speedy had a great look at that shot.
He had a good move and a good look.
Miller running it back. A 7-0 blitz by the Nuggets. This is just how they started the game.
It's so important tonight to get back. But it was the point guard taking the shot mid-range, and nobody made the rotation.
Dunleavy on Anthony, and he's fouled on the dish.
So when that point guard goes into the middle, first of all, it is right now Jason Richardson's responsibility to rotate back. And I have to say, if that's one weakness in his game this year that he probably hasn't changed, is not being alert to those rotations and getting back, protecting the basket after the point guard makes his move inside.
3-second violation as Dampier was waiting for Dunleavy to pull the trigger.
He had no room to pull it.
Nelson denied him very well. So as hot as the Warriors were in ending the second quarter, they're stone cold the first 3 minutes here in the third. The Nuggets have taken advantage. Nelson dropping it off to Nene. 9 straight Nuggets points, and Eric Musselman will stop it.
I know you want to put pressure on the other team, but Elson's not going to shoot the ball out there, and then Cliff Robinson fell down, put all the pressure on Dampier, and he could not contain them. Warriors down by 4, 8:55 to go in the third.
Our Toyota trivia question tonight: the only Warrior in the West Coast era to win a rebounding title.
Okay, now.
So we'll let that marinate a little bit. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Glenn Kuiper with you at the arena, and a 9-0 blitz by the Nuggets to begin the second half. Denver led by 14 in the second quarter. Warriors had a 5-point lead at the half with an incredible second quarter.
I'm just thinking about Wilt because he played in the West Coast for a few years, right? He averaged 22.9 rebounds for his career, but maybe those were the years that Russell won the rebounding title. I don't know. And maybe he was averaging 23 but didn't get the title.
Nate Thurman will be involved in that discussion. Speedy Claxton with a push shot, and there's the first Warrior bucket of the third quarter, making it a 2-point ball game. Speedy, Richardson, Robinson, Dampier, and Calbert Chaney. Nene, Anthony now with the ball, cutting Andre Miller to lay it up and in. Andre Miller's had a nice floor game tonight. 7 points with 3 assists and 2 rebounds. Carmelo Anthony has 4 assists to go with his 14 points. Yeah, he's for real. Looking for Robinson on Anthony. Carmelo kind of had him locked up.
Well, this is the same play we saw in the first half. I said it's a dangerous pass, and at that time it was Robinson throwing it to Dunleavy, and they called a foul on the defender, and Dunleavy was held. See, they don't call it. The ball's thrown away. That was exactly my point in the first half.
Sean Leonard ignited the Nuggets with his 26 first quarter points, and he hasn't scored since.
Hasn't been the same, has he? Timing.
You brought up a good point, Jim. Don't ever take the guy out unless he's dying. Richardson body bumps. Now JR to work on Miller on the block.
So I think Jay Rich should have made the move initially when he went in down there, and then he waited, and everybody got back. There was too much traffic. I think he could have taken Andre Miller off the dribble.
And Anthony drops in the 3 off the Warrior turnover. So 9 Warrior turnovers, and the Nuggets have 16 points off those miscues. And very quickly, Denver is up 7 here in the third.
What a player Anthony's going to develop in if he can get a consistent outside shot like that. Because then he's going to be pretty much unstoppable, because you know he can take people off the dribble.
He's 32% from beyond the arc on the season. Robinson dishing to Dampier, blocked by the iron, but Damp fouled in the process.
I think he got pushed from behind, and it pushed him into that little area between the glass backboard and the iron. Got it snubbed.
Nick Van Exel had 11 in that second quarter, and you're correct, partner. Wilt Chamberlain.
I knew we were trying to do a trick question, and we knew that, heck, it went through my mind. Nate Thurman, he was second 3 different times.
Well, you could have thrown on Nate Thurman, maybe Larry Smith or something. You know, that's could have played with him a little bit.
Yeah, Larry Smith led the league, I believe, or came in second, I guess, one year, averaged about 17.9 rebounds a game. And then there was Jerry Lucas, who was a great rebounder. At one time, they had Jerry Lucas, Nate Thurman, and Clyde Lee, and they all averaged right around 15 rebounds a game. I think they accumulated something 43 plus among the 3.
Dampier 1 of 2 free throwing. Nene down the lane. Whoa! With a right hand flush.
And that was for real.
And the Nuggets are for real.
Yes, they are.
This has just been a disastrous beginning to the third quarter, and we're getting inside of 6:40 remaining. Speedy Claxton wing jumper. Chaney keeping it alive. Dampier with the rebound, laying it up and in, and drawing the foul.
He had the advantage of the rim.
And Calbert Chaney kept it alive. And Dampier went to get it, and he has another double-double, 11 points and 11 boards.
Calvert keeps it alive, like you said. And then, see that right there down the middle of the backboard there, you have one defender on the left side. Dampier goes to the right side. He cannot get through that rim to block the shot. I don't care how big you are.
And Dam completing the three-point play. So the Warriors trying to regain their balance here. They were up 5 at the half, but down 5 right now. Midway through the third. Ray Miller checking the shot clock at 7, trying to back down Claxton. Turns and fires it over him. And tipped up and in. Francisco Elson soaring in from the baseline.
That's what he did at Cal. He wasn't a scorer, he was a rebounder.
The backdoor cut. Chaney had it blocked initially, saving and unable to find Robinson. And the Nuggets point-blank defense protecting the basket. Chaney thought he had a layup. Instead, he had to change his shot and threw it away. Next, will taking a turn on Deshaun Leonard. Step back jumper. That one looked a lot better, and he nails it.
Van Exel's a little shorter than Richardson. And I think Leonard liked that. You could just see there was a different attitude there.
Dampier rolling. Elson flopped. Dampier stuffed it on his head.
Well, it was good for Dampier to stop on a dime there, let the contact come, not much of it, and then when Elson fell out of the way, no whistle, go up and dunk. Then you have free reign.
Nuggets already 20 points in the quarter.
See, he's going to go right at Van Exel, and Robinson comes.
And Leonard hooked with the offensive foul.
That's because Robinson came on that side, though. He forced him to go that way and forced the hook.
Ryan Cardinal will check in. Cliff Robinson will sit down. Cardinal had 8 in 13 minutes in the first half. So Speedy and Van Exel, that 2-point guard look, with Cardinal, Calvert, Chaney, and Dampier for the Warriors. Ray Miller nearly a steal. Feeding Dampier again. He's had a good third quarter. Backing in on Nene. Lefty hook doesn't go. Couldn't get it off glass. Claxton kept it alive and stole it. Speedy to the trailing Van Exel. And Nick traveled.
Well, sometimes it looks like traveling and the ball's out of your hand. If the ball's in your hand, you shuffle those feet. But Nick does that a lot, and he's very good. Reminds me of an old-time player in the Hall of Fame, Sam Jones. Used to always do that. Throw the ball ahead. Nate Archibald did that also. Threw the ball ahead a little bit. Shuffled those feet just to try to fool the defender.
And Leonard dropping in another one. The Nuggets are 10 of 13 shooting in the third quarter.
You're right. Carbon copy on most of the first, except
they're 13 of 15 in the first.
Other people are doing it besides Leonard as well.
Warriors down 9 at the beginning of the quarter, up 5.
Cardinal took the ball to the short side where all the traffic was.
Speedy, a little shimmy shake with the shoulders, putting it up and in.
He's having a great game.
Speedy Claxton, very offensive minded. He has 17 to lead the Warriors. They got to do it on the defensive end. Deshaun Leonard trying to reheat. Here in the third, he made a couple in a row, missing there.
They got a 3-on-2. What are you going to get?
Van Exel down the lane, they flip it up and in.
Well, Denver, the Cardinal rule is you stop the ball after it gets to the top of the key. Make them stop by the free throw line. They didn't do that.
Anthony pull up on the baseline. And Dampier, easiest rebound of the night. Van Exel, very deep 3. I tell you what.
You see the poise?
They love Nick Van Exel. He's got 16. Denver will stop it. 3:16 left, and they rise in Oakland again. Nick the Quick has a huge West Coast following. 2-point ball game, a good one in Oakland. That should have been a 4. He shot it from so far away.
The poise and the pose.
Warriors pulled within 2 after being down 9 here in the third. Speedy Claxton equaling his season high, has 17. That's such a great game against Philadelphia, and tonight Speedy's been leading the way offensively.
Doing a terrific job at both ends of the floor, quite frankly. I think he's outplaying Andre Miller. And scoring here in the third quarter, and they need some scoring. You know, this is only the 5th game that he's scored in double digits. As you said, that season high against Philadelphia, his 2nd game of the season was 17. And then he went for a series of about 8 games without getting in double figures. Came back with 10 against Houston, 12 against Miami, and 12 against Phoenix on the road in that big important win.
Some substitutions for Denver. Earl Boykins in with John Barry. Leonard remains in the game. Chris Anderson and Nene. And off the ball, we have a foul. Calbert Chaney will pick up his 4th. 2nd Warrior team foul. Denver has committed 3 in the quarter. Van Exel, Chaney, Claxton, Brian Cardinal, and Dampier for the Warriors. Shot clock at 7. Nene backing in on Dampier, turning and firing it in. What a tough shot. Kind of shot it underneath Dampier's armpit. That was like a line driver.
Yes, he did, and kind of held off with his left arm in the process. But he likes to go to that right side of the basket, you can see.
Now feeding Dampier with Nene fouling him. Warriors wouldn't have minded the no call there because Damp had a dunk as Nene picks up his 3rd personal. Nuggets dominant in the 1st, Warriors dominant in the 2nd. Nuggets with the advantage here in the 3rd. Cardinal coming free for a 3. Ryan drops it in. 4th Warrior now in double figures tonight. Cardinal has 11. He continues that gaudy 3-point percentage. Anderson nearly lost it. Boykins going to shoot this one. No. Claxton knocked it away. Cardinal comes up with a deflection. Speedy pushing. Earl's behind it. Speedy to the rim. And he was fouled.
He held on to the ball too long. He had the layup. I think he was expecting contact sooner. And he simply held on to the ball too long. I mean, the gates parted here. He just got a wide open, easy. He didn't need to double clutch it. He didn't need to double clutch it, but it's easy to be an armchair quarterback from this vantage point.
Leonard picking up his 4th personal foul. Claxton to shoot 2 free throws to try and give the Warriors the lead. And he nets that one. Andre Miller quickly back in. Leonard with his 4 fouls will sit down. Speedy Claxton, a new season high. We talked about our key matchup of Claxton and Van Exel versus Boykins and Andre Miller. And the Warrior point guards, even though they played a little bit together, have combined for 35 points. Van Exel and Claxton. Cardinal on the overplay, but the foul from behind, says Danny Crawford.
Well, Cardinal, you say, can he play Nene? Can he do this? Can he play a small forward? I asked him, he was on our Warriors Roundtable show last night. I asked him that, and he said most of them, but there's some that are too quick. But one thing he can do that Nene can't do, or Anderson can't do, and that's shoot 3-pointers. Neither of them have even attempted one this year. And for Brian Cardinal, he's one of the best in the league.
Double Nene. Andre Miller trying to drive the shot clock at 1. 24-second violation. And look at Van Exel and Cardinal pump their fist at each other, saying that's a way to play team defense.
Well, Jeff Mozdelic has a lot to be thankful for this year because they are responding to him, and he's so positive with them. But I like the way the officials are letting him play tonight here a little bit. Maybe there was a little bit of contact, but it was Cardinal who initiated that play. Here's one in, and there's another good block. A little bit of contact, but they let him play.
And then Chaney will pick up the foul on John Barry. Calbert not very happy.
They got to call that.
It's Chaney's 5th personal foul, plus the Warriors are over the limit, so it'll be free throws the other way.
All right, let's watch this. Cardinal sees his back turn. He comes right in. He sees Andre Miller reverse because Van Exel cut off that baseline, and he just came right in and tied him up as the shot clock was winding down.
It's a tough sequence there. Brian wanted to either get the bucket or get to the line. Instead, it's free throws the other way.
By a great free throw shooter.
Exactly. And Chaney's 5th foul, and he's on the bench. That was a very rough sequence all the way around.
Ready for this, John Barry is the most experienced player on this roster.
It's the only Nugget with double-figure years of experience on the team.
If you had asked me how long has Barry been in the league, I'd say 7 or 8 years. But I don't know where they've gone. Talked to him about that before the game.
Cardinal again. Coming upon the final minute here in the third with the Nuggets up one. Richardson inside and spun it in.
Kind of a look away. Throws the defender because he thought about a kick-out pass.
Andre Miller, 100 miles an hour, got it to Barry for the three. Dampier with the rebound. Warriors want to run it back. No, Van Exel.
Smart play.
Cagey move to draw the foul with the Nuggets over the limit, and Nick gets to walk and shoot the free throws.
First time I ever saw a player do that. K.C. Jones, my rookie year with the Celtics. Just getting somebody going down the court. He doesn't think you're going to step on the brakes. Van Exel slowed up, went into the path a little bit, induced the foul, gets to the line.
I tell you what, though, if you ever wanted to say what kind of player is Chris Anderson, I'd show that highlight. Because he will jump, he will tackle, he will fall. I mean, he's an all-energy player, but he is involved in more scrums and skirmishes than most players you'll see.
I've got to look up his bio a little bit more. I'll bet you at one time or other. It may not even say it, but I bet he was a high jumper.
Okay, out of Blinn Junior College in Texas. NBDL for Chris Anderson. Van Exel missed the first, makes the second. Final minute here in the third. It's a 15-4 Warrior run. They're back in the advantage after being down 9. Cardinal giving away a lot of weight. And they double. Good catch by Andre Miller, saved the turnover. And the back down Speedy, wheels on the baseline, laying it up and in.
But for the most part, he's been held in check.
9 points for Miller on 3 of 5 shooting. Cardinal thought about the three. Dunleavy on the baseline around Ryan Bowen. Missed it off the side of the backboard, and then a reach-in foul on Richardson. This is going to be an ugly end to the third. This is where I think Cardinal sometimes is unselfish to a fault, Jim. Well, he caught that. You know, Brian, shoot that three, young man.
There was a defender there, but it was Andre Miller, the point guard. That's why he thought about it. You could see it go through his mind, wrestling with that decision.
Cardinals a 48% shooter from three-point land. Hey, a lot of time at the line. He knocks it down. Warriors all that work to get that 5-point lead at halftime. Then the Nuggets a blitz to begin the third quarter. They moved up 9. Warriors back up 2.
Yeah, that's. You knew this game wasn't going to be decided in all likelihood until the fourth quarter, and probably very late.
Nene hitting both free throws. He has 10 here in the third quarter. The shot clock off, and the Warriors will play for 1.
Nene's only 21.
Second-year player. Now down to 5.
A lot of room for Van Exel.
And Nick will shoot a 3. That's way offline.
I don't get that one.
That'll do it for the quarter. So the Nuggets outscore the Warriors by 7. Both teams shooting over 50%, and a good fourth quarter on the way. Two very hot teams meeting in Oakland. Each team having won 4 in a row, looking for magic number 5. Over 16,000 at the arena in Oakland with the Nuggets in town. Getting ready for the fourth quarter at the arena. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Glenn Kuiper. Nuggets with a 2-point lead. Speedy Claxton, Nick Van Exel, Jason Richardson, Brian Cardinal, Eric Dampier for the Warriors. They're outscored by 7 in that third quarter. Dampier with a shot clock at 10. Double team comes. Cycle it to Cardinal. Shot the 3 this time. And Richardson the offensive rebound. Jason quadruple teamed. Gets it back out to Van Exel.
I was surprised he even took it inside on the initial move with 4 defenders there.
And Dampier wanted someone on the baseline, and the Warriors turn it over. It's Nene, Ryan Bowen, John Barry, Earl Boykins, and Andre Miller. So Warriors going with 2 point guards, Nuggets going with 2 point guards in this alignment. Deshaun Leonard, his 30, was only the second player to score 30 on the Warriors this season. Peja Stojakovic the other. Foul as Nene tried to spin back. Warriors wanted to travel. They didn't get it. Cardinal will pick up the personal. That's his 4th.
Well, Nene has okay footwork, but he uses his body and his length very well and his size. But mostly it's his ball handling ability. Even in traffic, he's not going to lose the ball. He's got big, strong hands, and as I said before, they're soft.
He misses the free throw. Saturday night, a special one, the Hardwood Classic Nights, the Old City jerseys. You see Troy Murphy wearing that on the left-hand side, the poster as well, the first 5,000, and the Knicks in town. Excited to see those retro uniforms. It's
yes,
going to be nice.
And I think broadcasters that night, as Nene and Mrs. Boat are going to be in similar uniform. I've got an old warm-up that Bobby Rowell, our president and CEO, has sanctioned me to wear.
There you go.
And it's only on radio, if I believe.
That is true. Not be on television. So be here for the Knicks. Cardinal 3. Shot it long. Dampier with the rebound.
And it's maybe not a little politically correct, Bob, because I think some of the Warriors' apparel will be with the Indian headdress.
Okay. As Claxton is spilled to the floor.
That's what it was. And that's the little uniform that I have.
Andre Miller traveled. Van Exel kind of feinted Miller into the travel. Nene missing both free throws, and Claxton unable to finish the layup. So a little bit of stagnation here offensively.
Andre Miller was so far ahead of the pack, he actually got a worse angle coming at the basket than if he'd waited for the ball to come to him.
Warriors looking to tie it up this trip down. And Exel holding. Denver denying all the passing lanes. Richardson down the lane. Barry reached. Jason with a little finger roll. So Richardson now 11 on 5 of 9 shooting. We're tied at 87. And the Warriors have pounded it inside all night long.
Let's see what they can do defensively here against a poor shooting team and yet a high scoring one.
Not poor shooting tonight. The Nuggets are shooting 58% as a team.
This is going up.
Boykins launching. Got a little clearance from Speedy and dropped in the jumper.
I thought when Jason Richardson knocked the ball away, he could have pursued, and he and Speedy probably could have put the clamps on Boykins and come up with a steal.
Van Exel, a little show and go. Got it to Richardson, and Jason drawing the foul. What a special delivery there. And Richardson double clutching to make sure he got the contact.
Van Exel lays his feet, a little wraparound pass, and Richardson, you know, hasn't had an abundance of shots yet tonight.
Jason missing the free throw.
And I think he'd like to, you know, this is fourth quarter. This is when he likes to put on a display, as does Nick Van Exel, of course.
Speedy Claxton will sit with 19 points. Speedy's been dealing with the groin really all season long from the beginning of the year, and Eric Musselman trying to rest him a little bit.
Well, Speedy's had a nice game, season high.
Richardson splitting the free throws. Now, we saw Boykins run a scouting report in the fourth quarter a year ago. He will shoot far more often than he will pass the ball.
Yes.
So you need to play him that way. Andre Miller on the baseline. Cardinal sending him away.
Miller wanted a foul, but I think Danny Crawford said he's initiated the contact. That's a good, again, they're letting the players decide this, and legally and rightfully so.
Andre Miller initiates the contact all the time.
So there's always contact, but they get a steal.
Boykins ahead to John Barry. Van Exel will just foul him. So Nick picks up the second, but a couple turnovers here in this fourth quarter have ignited Denver runouts. John Barry only got a one-year deal. Surprised that Detroit would let Barry go. Also, Indiana was interested. Kiki Vandeweghe said, no, you could be the leader of our bench. The Nuggets have done a great job getting to the foul line as a team. That's how you score well if your field goal percentage isn't that good.
Quick look at Kiki Vandeweghe again.
Denver up 3. Inside 9 minutes remaining. Levy on Andre Miller, feeding Richardson. Nice, very nice. The post up, the entry pass, and
It took so long to develop. And the thing is, Richardson, I love the little flip there because he knew that there was a danger of getting whistled for 3 seconds in the lane. That's why he got it up so quickly and very nicely as well.
and a blocking foul on Cardinal.
Good call.
Bryant picking up his 5th foul. That'll take us to a mandatory stoppage. 8:36 remaining in the ball game with the Nuggets up 1.
Fourth quarter at the arena, 1-point lead for the Denver Nuggets. Well, in the last 2 games, the fourth quarter has belonged to Nick Van Exel. That should not surprise us at all. He is one of the best clutch shooters in the NBA. We asked Van Exel about his fourth quarter heroics.
It's like natural, it's normal. You know, sometimes I'm going to be able to take over a game and make the big shots at the end, and sometimes I'm not. So I don't think about it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I just got to go out there and do the things that I do best.
And guys, it's pretty simple. He's not afraid to shoot, and you know what? He's not afraid to miss. Jim, you were a pretty good shooter. If you think about missing, you're probably not going to shoot it, and if you do, you're probably going to miss.
Well, you can't think about it, and one thing I would never do is talk about it. He's not even superstitious about talking about his fourth quarter prowess.
At 9 against Phoenix in the fourth, 16 against San Antonio. Has yet to take a shot here in the fourth quarter, and the Warriors have gone incredibly small now. Mike Dunleavy is ostensibly the center, with Sean Lampley, Van Exel, Claxton, and Richardson. Andre Miller laying it up and in. This is a very odd lineup. Nene, Vashawn Leonard, Andre Miller, John Barry, Earl Boykins. Van Exel 3, rimming out, but Nene the only player of size in the game. From the foul line, he just bailed the Warriors out.
Exactly. The Warriors love that shot.
Hey, 7 of 9 from the field, but very efficient in the post.
Was it a little early for Nick Van Exel to try to turn it on?
Richardson on Vashawn Leonard.
They got nothing going here.
Lampley at 3. He'll have to turn and just force one, and he hit it. Big shot, Sean Lampley, who's played great defense tonight, and also 6 points off the bench.
Tough shot. Forced into it by the shot clock.
Just like the awareness that he knew.
Well, he's smart.
Andre Miller continues to drive, and Mike Dunleavy fouling him. Dunleavy's 4th. Speaking of size, the Warriors would get Eric Dampier back in the ball game.
Well, that's a tough assignment and a tough thing to ask Mike Dunleavy to defend on Miller. They kept Sean Lampley on Vashawn Leonard that time, and then twice in succession, Dunleavy was taken to the basket by Andre Miller and fouled.
Dunleavy sitting now, 4 fouls in 20 minutes.
Got the layup a moment ago and fouled this time, is what I was insinuating.
Andre Miller, he and Boykins have combined for 20. Claxton and Van Exel have combined for 36. Miller netting both free throws. The Nuggets have been good from the line, 24 of 29. The Warriors 16 of 21. Avery Johnson talking to Mike about that mismatch.
Well, they're going to it.
Excellent Leonard, former Nugget teammates. And another 3-second violation as Dampier was waiting for the shot to go up. So the game kind of hanging there right now with 7:15 left. And the Nuggets up 3, and they've done a good job keeping better than 16,000 out of this one in the fourth.
And when Nick got into the lane there, he's got that kind of little shovel shot that he has. Kind of a half hook, jump, push, whatever you want to call it. And Dampier thought he was going to launch it. And rightfully so. Boykins launches.
Boykins hitting from the wing.
He's a fourth quarter wonder too.
Earl has 10 in the game. Van Exel to the trailing Claxton. And Speedy. Best offensive game in a Warrior uniform. He's got a season high 21. The Warriors have to stop Denver a few times.
See, Denver right now believes they can win the game.
And knocked away. Point blank range. Outlet to JR. Touchdown!
What a great completion.
Look for Leonard on the block. He's had success on Van Exel with the fadeaway. Turning, firing, and missing. Dampier with the rebound. And Nene knocking it away. Dampier 16 rebounds. They go with 14 points. So Claxton and Lampley with Dampier, Richardson, and Van Exel. Francisco Elson now with Barry Boykins, Andre Miller, and Vashawn Leonard. So Nene getting a rest. Midway through the fourth. Nuggets up 1. What a great ball game. Lampley turning, firing, rimming it in.
They recognize the mismatch, and they're not afraid to go into young Sean Lampley.
He was 4 of 5 with 8 points tonight. Earl Boykins trying to get some separation, weaving through traffic, and he's shoved by Dampier.
Oh, and the Warriors are over the limit. Just the opposite situation that the Warriors had in the third quarter with Denver making all the fouls.
Warriors have committed 5 team fouls. The Nuggets only 1. 5:45 left, and free throws upcoming when we come back. At the arena in Oakland, 5:45 of crunch time left with the Warriors clinging to the 1-point lead. Denver, what a turnaround at home for Jeff Buzzdelic, but what a turnaround on the road. And they already have 3 road wins, and over the last 6 seasons, Jim,
They have just been miserable on the road. Last in the league in percentage. Speaking of the road, you know, Cleveland has 32 straight road losses dating back to last year and this year.
the Sacramento record is 43.
Oh, my word.
You know when the Cleveland 43rd game would be on the road in terms of the record?
Probably against the Warriors.
Against the Warriors on March 15th. Boykins, an excellent free throw shooter, tying the ball game. Troy Murphy and Adonal Foyle anxious to become part of things. Troy cleared for a little court work today. Adonal also feeling much better with the knee situation. Boykins hitting both free throws, so Earl with 12 off the bench. Claxton, Van Exel, Richardson, Dampier, and Lampley getting fourth quarter playing time. Carmelo Anthony back in for Denver. Lampley turning, firing it in. Sean Lampley is a post-up small forward.
Interesting. You know, Anthony set out the first, 6 minutes of this quarter. He didn't play at all the first 6 minutes. They bring him back in and they exploit him defensively.
Back-to-back, maybe trying to get him a little rest.
Claxton needs some help here on Anthony.
Richardson coming to help. Anthony inside. Dampier made him change his shot. Rebound, Vashawn Leonard.
Dampier tried to get a flat-footed rebound. Couldn't get off the ground.
And the Warriors fall asleep there. Boykins finding Anthony.
Again, they let a lot of contact go uncalled when Anthony went in the first time.
Sean Lampley has been excellent here in the fourth quarter.
They're going to go to him again.
He's made his last 3 shots. Wheeling on Vashawn Leonard, putting it up and out, point-blank range. He couldn't get that to go down.
He doesn't use the board a lot. He likes to go over the front of the rim, and he's been very successful.
Remember, Boykins likes to shoot it more than pass it in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know he's quick if he can get it on Speedy.
Leonard shoving off with the free arm, taking it inside and laying it in.
But the thing is, he scored over Dampier. Forget what he did to get there. He just kind of froze Eric by perhaps looking him off like he was going to dish the ball.
Nuggets still committed only 1 foul in 8 minutes in the fourth. While the Warriors are over the limit. Dampier with the shot clock at 9. Turning, wheeling, no foul there. Got it again and laid it in.
He went with the left hand. As I say, they're letting him play.
Wow.
Oh, they left Boykins alone. It's a mistake.
They step in and miss a 3 badly. Dampier with the rebound.
They closed on him just quickly enough.
Down 1 with 3.5 left. Is it Van Exel time? Elson with the body bump.
Behind the open man.
Richardson 3. Rimming out. And Boykins headed the other way at 100 miles an hour. Setting up Leonard. Deep 3. Got it! Vashawn Leonard, 3 off his career high. He has 35. None bigger than that 3. And The Nuggets up 4, still shooting 58% as a team.
Well, the Warriors have to score here. If they don't, they've got to play tough defense the rest of the way, almost every time.
Van Exel delivering to Lampley for the dunk.
They didn't call the foul. Van Exel was fouled. The officials let it go, and it worked in favor of the Warriors. Again, I commend the officials on letting the play develop.
2-point ball game. Boykins trying to take it over. Shot clock down to 9. Looking for Anthony on Claxton. There's a miss.
Go help. Why didn't someone go help? Tough to leave the shooters, though.
2:36 left. Timeout on the floor. Anthony to shoot 2 when we come back, with the Nuggets already leading by 2. .236 left. Only the second game this year in which the Warriors and their opponent have both been over 100 points. The Sacramento game was the only other one. High-scoring affair in Oakland, with the Denver Nuggets shooting an unbelievable 58% from the field. The Warriors not bad at 53%. But Vashawn Leonard's 35 points, 26 of them in the first quarter, have been the lifeline for the Nuggets.
And only the LA Clippers and Toronto Raptors shoot worse than the Nuggets. The Nuggets barely over 40% coming in, and it hasn't been all inside. The Warriors have had a huge advantage on points in the paint. But it's been the outside shooting primarily from this guy, Vashawn Leonard. I should say Anthony.
Well, the foul line very unkind to the Warriors tonight. 33 free throw attempts for Denver, 21 for the Warriors. The Nuggets have made good use. Now 28 of 33, 85%. And it's back to a 4-point deficit with 2.5 left.
So the Warriors scored, but they didn't stop the Nuggets at this end.
Dampier and Claxton, Richardson, Van Exel, and Lampley, the finishing lineup. Dampier on the nay, double team comes. Cycle it around to Speedy. Down low to Lampley, inside, push shot is in. Sean Lampley with 14 tonight.
What a quarter he's having.
10 in the fourth quarter. But can the Warriors come up with a defensive stop?
Musselman says they'll play the guys in the fourth quarter. They're doing it. That was traveling.
Anthony.
He took a big jump before he put the ball on the floor.
Warriors have not gotten a whistle in this fourth quarter. Only 1 foul on Denver the whole stanza. 6 fouls on the Warriors. Dampier
Way high out on the floor.
Van Exel had it knocked away initially. Rimmed it in anyway. One defensive stop.
Almost lost the ball. Didn't have a great look. But the goal gods are with Van Exel in the fourth quarter.
Minute and a half left.
This is a big sequence here.
Up 2 with the ball.
A big possession.
They feed Anthony again. Trying to back down Richardson. Shot clock at 6. Wheels in the lane. Corkscrew shot. Made it in. Fouled. The rookie Carmelo Anthony with 25.
I think
opportunity for a three-point play.
I think forget Miller. You could see they didn't want to leave Miller right there. You've got to go right inside. Nick Van Exel does and just clamp down on Anthony so he cannot go make a pass around him. To me, Van Exel was in no man's land.
And Anthony completing the three-point play. He's got 26.
Well, it's not over, but let's see what they got. If it goes to Van Exel, he's going to launch a 3.
Final minute 10 left. Dampier in trouble.
Lampley can't shoot the 3.
Going around Anthony, and Lampley is fouled. With the second foul on the Nuggets, it'll get Lampley to the line. But you know, quite simply, Jim, when a team comes into your building and shoots 59%, you're not going to win too many basketball games.
Not at all. Unless you play almost a perfect game, don't turn the ball over, and shoot the ball well yourself. But it's been Carmelo Anthony since he entered the game with about 6 minutes to go in the fourth. It's just simply taken over in one-on-one moves, and the Warriors really haven't chosen to double team.
Lampley misses the free throw. The 59% shooting for Denver, and the Warriors 16 of 22 free throwing, while the Nuggets are 29 of 34. 13 more free throws made and 12 more attempts for Denver. And Lampley misses them both. Richardson trying to keep it alive. Anthony with the rebound. And it stays at a 5-point game with a minute left. Those were huge misses.
Yes. Well, this is an absolute necessity to stop him here. Absolute necessity.
Gonna go to Anthony again.
And they bring in Cardinal for a little more offensive help.
Miller setting up for Sean Leonard. And he hits a killer three, equaling his career high. And that is a fitting tale to the end of the story. He began it with 26 in the first quarter and a three to likely put the Warriors away. Timeout on the floor.
Warriors basketball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA and NBA playoffs. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey like Jack Daniel's. By Nextel. Done. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. And by Comcast. Proud to be the Bay Area's new cable company. Call 1-800-COMCAST for cable TV and high-speed internet service.
Well, the Nuggets shooting nearly 60% for the whole game. Get a career high tying 38 from Vashawn Leonard and put up a season high against the Warriors, 116. And Vashawn Leonard, a killer three to salt this one away for the Nuggets.
His 5th three of the night.
5 of 6 on threes, 14 of 21 from the field.
Well, what amazing, what a line. 26 points the first quarter, 0 points in the second, 4 in the third. He's added 8 here in the fourth. But he didn't score in the second quarter on the way to tying the career high.
He's our McDonald's player of the game. Final 46 left. Van Exel, little runner off glass. Dunleavy couldn't collect the rebound. Richardson comes up with it from the baseline. Van Exel with the rebound. Anthony stayed down nicely. Cardinal for three. Richardson another rebound. He had like the effort here, and now a foul on Anthony. Our Nextel play of the game. Early in that first half when the Warriors came from 14 down, Van Exel had the rebound, came up with a steal, fed Dunleavy, and the Warriors were back in it as they outscored the Nuggets 35-18 in that second quarter. And now the Warriors have gone 0 for 3 here from the line. Lampley missing 2, Richardson missing the third there. And JR hitting the second. They will foul Andre Miller. I will make a prediction, Jim, that Denver will not shoot 60% from the field Friday night.
I would think that's a fair assumption.
The team coming in as the 3rd worst shooting team in the league.
But you know what? Give them credit tonight. They did.
Oh, they were unbelievable.
And the Warriors stayed with them for most of the game. I think it was a terrific game by two teams who've really improved, and the new players make a difference. Your Jack Daniels shot of the game, that kind of sealed it as Anthony went for a 3-point play, fouled on the process.
Carmelo Anthony with 26, Vashawn Leonard with 38. The Warriors put 6 players in double figures tonight, including 40 from Claxton and Van Exel. And the Warriors themselves shot 51%. But it's just been an unbelievable offensive performance by Denver.
They just could not stop Denver.
Final 20 ticks left. The Warriors' 4-game winning streak is going to come to an end. Denver's going to win 5 in a row, but they will see the same Warriors squad Friday night. The whistle's been put away as well. Speedy missing there. And the Denver Nuggets move to 12-6 on the season. And just an unbelievable offensive performance. Leonard and Anthony, they shoot 60% as a team for the game. And Denver is not only a very different team, they're a very dangerous team. And you're talking about Denver on a night where San Antonio goes below 500. The Nuggets are right there in the Midwest Division.
Well, they have tied right now Dallas at 12-6 for the lead in the Midwest. And Vashawn Leonard might have been our player of the game as you look at him put on the headset over in the Denver side. But Carmelo Anthony had a huge fourth quarter as well. And I just thought he was terrific throughout the entire game as well.
Carmelo Anthony with 26, and what a class move for the rookie is he is going to join our Glenn Kuiper before he heads into the locker room. Take it, Glenn.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Carmelo, we appreciate you stopping by. Hey, only 16 games into your first NBA season. How has it been? Certainly the numbers are there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's the last thing I'm worried about, my numbers. We winning right now, we're in a little winning streak, so hopefully we can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys may be the surprise team of the NBA right now. What are you guys doing that's making you so successful? A team that really hasn't been together that much, and it's a young team.
Well, our chemistry is starting to come together like a book. We know each other like the back of our hands, so we just want to come in and just feel comfortable out there and just play off each other.
Now, late in the game, you didn't come into the game till about midway through the fourth quarter, but you really turned it on in that fourth quarter. Tell us about that.
Well, I think the coach knew what he was doing when he just sat me down for that long and put me in. At least I hope he knew he was doing. I came in and just I scored a couple of baskets, a couple of rebounds, and we won.
Hey, how much has all the hype surrounding maybe LeBron James, has that helped you, maybe taking a little pressure off you being the third pick? Because we're certainly hearing his name a lot.
Well, I mean, I still got everybody got their own pressures. I got my pressures, LeBron got his pressures. So I just got to deal with my team and trying to win.
Hey, thanks a lot. We appreciate it, and nice job tonight. You're a little hard on the Warriors, though.
Yeah, I try to, man.
All right, we'll see you Friday night.
All right.
Guys.
Carmelo Anthony, unbelievable game. The Nuggets beat the Warriors 117-109. We'll come back and continue to wrap it up from Oakland right after this.